Holocaust Memories, Never Forget. Section 1, Origins of Antisemitism. From antiquity until Hitler is named Chancellor of Germany, the 30th of January 1933. Part 5. Adolf Hitler. For many people, even seeing this name conjures up such horrendous images of pain, death and destruction that they immediately grimace and try to think of something else. Though perhaps only conjecture, it's conceivable that no other human being on earth other than Jesus of Nazareth has ever been studied so deeply or consistently. Surely no one could argue with the concept that he was the primary motivating force behind World War II and responsible for the deaths of between 60 and 80 million people. How could this have happened? In Germany, at least, it wasn't so hard. For centuries, German and other European writers had been hailing the purity and superiority of the Aryan race despite having no scientific data to verify that such a race even existed. Many German and Austrian writers were also attacking Judaism with great intensity, especially when restrictive laws were being eliminated and Jews were assimilating at an alarming rate. As the 20th century approached, the Völkisch movement, which was the concept of Aryan purity, was a well-accepted truth by the vast majority of Germans and Austrians. This mindset was fostered by highly persuasive and easily accessible documents, tracts, posters, and books that were being read from one end of German society to the other. Another anti-Semitic theme that permeated Germanic thought, what was called the stab in the back, essentially blamed the Jews for causing the loss of World War I. Ironically, two of the most outspoken and successful writers in the dual genres of anti-Semitism and racial purity were not even German. The first, Joseph Arthur, Comte de Gobineau, who died in 1882, was a Frenchman who championed the concept that the Germanic peoples, or Aryans, were superior to all other ethnic groups. The second was an Englishman, Houston Stewart Chamberlain, who was an avid student of Comte de Gobineau's writings. After moving to Austria as a young adult and becoming a German citizen in 1915, Chamberlain, who hated all things Jewish, remained a strong supporter of Germany's military efforts in World War I despite their eventual defeat. Following the November 1918 revolution in Germany, he wrote that his newly adopted country was now under the supremacy of the Jews. Chamberlain was married to the daughter of Richard Wagner, Germany's most famous composer and an outspoken anti-Semite, and because of this he met Adolf Hitler, a young man who was a devoted fan of Wagner's music and writings and had already been active in pursuing his own rabid political and anti-Jewish agenda. Chamberlain had an incredibly powerful influence on Hitler's life and his worldview, and during their mail correspondence in the early 1920s, he often told Hitler that his destiny to become the greatest German leader of all time was divinely inspired. Even when Hitler's future looked grim and he was languishing in jail in 1924 following a failed attempt to overthrow the government, Chamberlain remained loyal and never once lost his belief that Adolf Hitler was the only man who could restore the greatness of Germany, eliminate any threat posed by the Jews, and fulfill the ultimate destiny of the Aryan race.